What's up guys, this is Addict from Vertex. I'm going to be showing you how to defend the B-bomb site on DE_DUS2. Let's get into it. Some important things you need to know as a B anchor is what the Ts will do against you in your site. So for example, this molly you throw every round, they will either let this be, or they can smoke this halfway through with flashes and come through to catch you off guard. That's like one of the most simple B pops that you can have with the late door smoke, you know? And things you have to do to counter that is you need to think about what are some good spots which will take advantage of this smoke pretty much. So the B bomb site is very, very versatile. You can play long range angles, you can play on the site, you can play off the site. You can play very close up, you can play in corners that they might not check, you can play elevated angles from close, you can play elevated angles from far. You have all these options to do, so you need to think about what is the best possible position for you. So say this molly comes in and this smoke comes in, and all of a sudden the flashes are going off, they're coming through. If you're close with an AUG, this is close enough distance that you can one-shot them in the head with the AUG. I think that's very strong. Same goes with if you have a terrible buy. You can make use of all these close angles with an SMG or say a pistol, and you can do a lot of damage with this, especially because from their perspective, right? They're smoking this, they're coming through, they're gray screened. They're trying to jump through Hail Mary pretty much, and you know exactly where they are. So you can play anti here, you can come out, and they're just doomed. So some good utility as a B anchor. I think this is one of the most important pieces of utility, because this prevents the Ts from straight up rushing into your bomb site. If they want to go through it, they'd have to smoke it. I think another important piece of utility is this. This smoke is very important because it lets you get a couple kills to the edges of the smoke, but it also allows you to hide and have more cover on the site, so your teammates can flash for you. This flash here from your rotator is very, very important. If you don't have these support flashes from your rotator, it's very unlikely that you'll be able to hold your site without a kill, which is pretty much just your goal as well. You only want to play around these spots to get more than one kill, maybe 1 or 2, 3 if you're very good, and set your team up for the best retake possible. Another good piece of utility you can hold is this grenade. This grenade, basically the idea is you're jiggling for info here. If anybody starts walking up here, you can instantly nade them, and you don't have to face it. So say an AWP was walking in. Trying to pick you. He'd come here, he'd see you jiggle, he'd wait for you, but you'd nade him, and he'd take this nade damage, and he'd have to fall back. At the same time, it's also good for a pop, against a pop actually. So say this molly is down from the start of the round, you're holding this, and then they smoke that molly. They smoke that molly to pop, you can instantly grenade, drop your smoke that I talked about before, and then they'll be trying to come out of this smoke, gray screened, and also naded, so they're going slowly because they've been tagged, and one-shot headshot with an M4 now. As a B anchor, you'll not only face hits coming from the tunnel, but you'll also be able to get hit from mid. And what's really important with dealing with mid to Bs is communication with your rotator. So your B ramp player here, he's always going to be leaning towards mid unless you have someone else, maybe in CT, that can pick it up for them. And only then can they really come and play double B with you. But the most important thing about stopping your mid to B is communicating with your teammate what you're going to do if it happens before it happens. So say start of the round, we molly, we chill, nothing's happened, nothing's out, nothing's happened, and you're saying, okay, they're pretty quiet in the rest of the map, and we're expecting a B hit or a mid hit. and then all of a sudden these smokes come in right here, and you're saying, okay, they're about to mid B us. You're probably like around here, maybe around here, maybe around here, and your teammate is in the inverse spot of that. And suddenly they're already close to doors and tunnel, and you're saying to your teammate, hide, fight, and you're all confused and you die. So what's really important is communicating before that happens. Maybe something with some simple keywords saying like, maybe you want to fight tunnel if they're mid B. That way, like, you can smoke the doors to prevent them from coming through here, and you can both double push upper, or you can say fight middle. So that means you should smoke tunnel because it'll delay the tunnel push. And then you can flash for each other with a simple flash, maybe like this, which you can peek with. And then you both push through doors and window at the same time, and you take this fight. What's also really good is if you have a lot of smokes at your luxury, and they mid B you can also stay and hold your ground. So you can smoke the doors, you can smoke tunnel, and that's your ideal world. Maybe you also have a molly for window. That is the best possible scenario for you if they're mid B. And good spots against a mid B. If you have an AWP, if your rotator has an AWP, back plat is the best spot for an AWP. So because it's got these long lines, and you can also like peek door, you can peek window. As a rifler, car is really good because you can hold these lines. You can play antis the flashes. You can come up, you can play down, you can play up, and then under window is also very good because you're isolating these fights in window. And then if they come through door, your teammate should be able to hold you, and you can peek off them. Another good piece of utility you can throw as a Bianca is a set flash that you can have for your teammate in mid. I think it's very important that you have one set flash at least for your site partner, because you want to be able to make this flash be very effective whenever you need to throw it. So a good flash for mid, you can come here, just anywhere pretty much on the right side of the window, and you aim at the level of the B to the edge of the wall. You throw it there, and it pops in mid. And it pops so well in mid that it's pretty much impossible to turn from. So say he was out here, your teammate wants you to throw the flash, you throw the flash, it's impossible to turn from. And then you get free kills for your rotator. As a B-side anchor, it's very important that you not only play your passive holds, but you also know how to aggress at your part of the map. And that way it takes pressure off your A players for having to get information all the time, and it also just lets you get a pick back into the round if you have to refrag. So basically, some aggro things you can do on this bomb site is you can molly right side. If your rotator has a molly, he could drop it to you with this new update. That's pretty cool. Because a pretty common spot for B lurk to go is to go right side fast if they have a good spawn, and then they can hold here, and it's pretty annoying for the CTs to clear. And that's the whole reason why it's a good spot. So mollying this is really good, just to add some pressure. The lowest default guy will see that, and he might want to second guess whether you guys might push or not, which will keep him around here a lot longer. If your rotator has an AWP, it's very important that if you want to push tunnel, you want to still molly. If you're doing this molly every round, your inverse position, your T-lurk that's playing against you, will be seeing this every single round. If for one round you don't mask this molly, and the AWP just goes in for a peek, he will be screaming, he will be saying, this is not normal, there's no molly here, careful at AWP pushing, or just like anyone pushing at all. And he'll either not be here, or he'll be here with a teammate ready to kill you. So it's very, very important, if you want to go push upper, you need to mask the utility that you've been throwing for the whole game. Good positioning on this bomb site is very, very key when defending, because there are a lot of spots in this bomb site which you can take advantage of, and they all have their different pros and cons. For example, if you have bad money, and you're forced to buy an SMG, or you're forced to buy a pistol, then you can have all these close angles. Another good place you can play is this big box. I think this big box is very underrated, because basically the only flashes that will be thrown in a B hit will be these window flashes. These are very, very good window flashes, and the skylight flashes. Maybe an entry flash, but that's maximum all the flashes that will go out on B. So when you're here, you'll be able to see these flashes coming so early that you can turn from them. And then you can isolate these fights as well. So the entry will typically go towards car, and then there'll be another stream of players coming here. So you can kill this guy, you can play anti the flashes, kill the guys as they're crossing, because they will be looking towards site, naturally. You can catch them off. Maybe you can throw disruptive smoke as well. I think this is very underrated too, because you can come all the way out here. You can see the flashes still, you can dodge them. And then any Ts that are hugging the right here, scared of the smoke, you'll have such an easy line of them, as well as hiding from the car guys. So those are my thoughts on the B site of Dust 2. Let me know what you think, subscribe to VERTEX for more content, and I'll see you next time.